It's Sprocket here, back on the Ranger. As you can see, front suspension. So what we're doing here is these upper control arms we are replacing because you can see this ball joint, boot's all gone. This is one of those ones that you couldn't grease. It's a factory one, so getting rid of that. So you got back here, get a little closer, there you go. Bolt right there you need to loosen up. I'm pretty sure these are camber bolts. So basically they have washers that are cammed off center. And that's how you adjust in and out of the control arm for the, okay, which one is that? Is that camber or caster? That's one of them. Basically the tire, if it's straight when the suspension or if it's like this or like this. But anyway, so same thing over here. Got another one up there behind the wiring. You can see it's wet because I sprayed it with some break it loose some stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, as much as I dislike the idea, I'm probably gonna have to do something with that CV axle and this hub in order to be able to do the lower ball joint, because we're doing those too. But not exactly sure on that one yet. The way everything is tied in together right here, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to, but I'll bring you back when I got a little bit more progress. Alright, so got the upper control arm out. Let me tell you, these bolts, they suck because they go in that way. You see what's in the way to get it back out? Yeah, that sucks. Especially this side, with a fuel line and brake line right in the way. Here's the bolt. I got that one out. I'm just laying it sit there. I don't want to mess with that. But here's the other one to show you what it looks like when it comes out. So that's what I mean by camber bolt. See, it's offset. And then this side's got a flat on it, which corresponds with the flat in this plate. Of course, you know, with some bonus spider webs. And basically what that does is it allows it to turn to reposition the in and out on the upper control arm. So here's the old upper control arm. I don't know if you can see this or hear it maybe. Hear the clunk? Yeah, that's junk. So it's a darn good thing we decided to go ahead and get these. But yeah. So getting the new one in isn't going to be nearly as difficult. It's just going to be, it's going to need an alignment after we're done. But yeah, fun. And then I still have to contend with the lower ball joint. Got the nut off of it and everything, but in there is where I'm going to have issues because of all that in the way. Yay! Alright, so upon further inspection of the lower ball joint, I figured out it's not bad. 1. 2, it's already been replaced. It took me a while, but I noticed on the rubber boot, it says Moog, M-O-O-G. That's not factory equipment. So, I also figured out that it's greasable. I don't know if you can see. Yep, there it is. So I went ahead and greased it, and it's good to go. So I just have to put the upper control arm back in and call this side good. Alright, new upper control arm is in. I thought I was going to have to reset these things, but apparently these plates over here are set to a certain point, and the other side of them are splined. So I guess when they initially set them, they set them to a certain point, spline them in, and then call it good. But these other plates will not go in any other direction. So I hope it's good. But there was no way to tell where it was to begin with without some detailed pictures. I mean, I checked the video I did earlier to see where the flat was on this one, and it is where it was. So those plates only go on one way, so the other one would be opposite. The flat's on the other side, which is the way it is. So lower ball joint, I just went ahead and retightened everything, put a new cotter pin in. Always replace cotter pins, never reuse the old one. It's always a good idea. But yeah, so now all I got to do, I haven't tightened these down yet. The reason for that is because there's no weight on this except whatever this weighs. So I got to jack it up here till it just so comes off the jack stand, so I know the vehicle weight is on this, and then I'll tighten those down. Alright, new day. Forgot before I put the tire back on that Dad got new sway bar links, so I'm going to be replacing that one. Now you can barely see it, but you can tell, maybe on this one, that it's not your typical black. That would be a new one, or not a new one, but a factory one. So these have been replaced before. They're okay, but we have new ones, so we're going to go ahead and replace them. So this side's in. You want to have a little bit of squeeze on the bushings, all right? And if you look close, you can see the grease squeezing out from in between there. I always make sure I grease the bolt inside the sleeve and everywhere the rubber touches metal, so that way, one, you don't get squeaks, but then two, it actually helps it last a little bit longer. And then, on to the other side. Alright, so, as you can see, as soon as it focuses, there we go. Got passenger side off, there it sits. This one's got some really funky adjustment, I guess is what this is about. But kind of threw me for a spin because it's got extra stuff, whereas the new one, they don't have that. Neither did the other side, that's why I was like, a little confused here. But this ball joint, I don't know if you can see how it's, yeah. You can hear that. So, what I didn't show on the other side, I wanted to make sure I remembered to tell you guys. Right here, slides into this part. So, be sure you put some anti-seize on that if you ever want to get it back out. Otherwise, it makes this a lot more difficult. The other thing is, sometimes it'll get jammed up in here with rust. So what you can do, what I did, stick like a screwdriver, or a flathead screwdriver that is, or a small pry bar in here, kind of tap it in a little bit, and what that does is it'll spread this out so it gives it more room to come out. But yeah, so now I just gotta reassemble it and then do that thing. Yay! Oh, I don't know if you can see how wet that shock is, but that's something else we're gonna have to get replaced too. Alright, so the upper control arm is in. As you can see, everything is tightened down. I can't grease them. Sucks, but that's the way it is. Sway bar end link in. Now also, something I didn't realize, outer tie rod also replaced. And as you can see, greased. So, now this side, I checked the lower ball joint again. This one was removed and replaced before we got the truck. It has a Moog in it. Boot's okay. I greased it up. It's good to go. It ain't loose. So as far as suspension, this side, well, other than we still need to do that shock, but that'll go later. But we're good to go with this side. So now I gotta go back to the other side and do the other tie rod end that I didn't know I had to do. Well, as you can see, Ranger's no longer in here. See? Got it all back together, took it for a test spin. And now it's back out where it belongs. So that's going to be it for the Ranger for this week. More to come because there's more parts coming. But at any rate, thanks for watching. Have a good one.